Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be playing the Arena Open for Streets of New Capenna Sealed. This is going to be the highest stakes Streets of New Capenna limited event you can get into on Arena, very similar to the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Arena Open we did a few months ago. Definitely check that out if you haven't already, but we managed to day 2 and get some pretty sweet rewards there, so I highly recommend it. Very much doubt that we'll be able to repeat that with a similar win rate here, but I'll do my best, and we'll see how it goes. Streets of New Capenna Sealed is far from my favorite format. It is very, very swingy and quite dependent on what you open. I am not a big fan of it, but I have gotten a decent amount of practice in it. I'm going to do my best, and this is not what you want to see as your sealed pool in this format whatsoever. Shadow Mortality is not a super crazy card. It's just going to be a 7/7 eventually, which is not the craziest thing in the world. There are plenty of big tempo plays and removal spells in this format that can easily deal with a 7/7 that has no form of evasion. That being said, Fleetfoot Dancer, Ginny Fae, and Gala Greeters are our scariest rares here. Gala Greeters, really good if you can get it on turn 2, not so great any other time. Ginny Fae, potentially getting you a bunch of cats and dogs instead of treasure tokens, so if you have a lot of token production, she can be quite powerful. And Fleetfoot Dancer is just very generically powerful. Riveteer's Ascendancy is quite a build around and very rarely pays off. Card is played pretty poorly for me. And then Spar's Headquarters is just mana fixing. Not exactly what you want out of your rare slot in this format. There are a lot of pretty bad, pretty weak rares in this format, like Riveteer's Ascendancy, and then there's a lot of pretty completely busted rares that will win almost every game you cast them, like Broker's Ascendancy. So the rare slot in this format can be very swingy, and I think we just got okay stuff in the rare slot. Today, another part of this format that's incredibly swingy is how good your mana fixing is in your sealed pool, and ours is pretty bad. We've got 3 fetch lands, 1 Riveteer's Fetch, 1 Maestro's Fetch, 1 Cabaret Courtyard, 1 Spar's Headquarters. That is far below the average and not what you want to see either. So we're not really capable of doing particularly multicolored stuff, which is a pretty big bummer. We don't even have any mana fixing creatures. Our mana fixing creatures are only the Obscura ones, the white, blue, black ones. So this is a really rough sealed pool by all of those metrics. Hopefully, our most powerful color pair just has a ton of good stuff on curve, and we can do our best here, but this sealed pool is looking really poor for what this format is trying to do with mana fixing and everything. So let's see here. Our strongest rares are, again, Fleetfoot Dancer and Ginny Fae. So we'd like to be ideally green-white with a splash of red just for those bombs. Unless our red is really good. It's not. Our red's very average here. Mayhem Patrol's fine. Light 'em Up's fine. Cloud Professional's fine, but these are all fine red cards, but they don't really compete with the good green, white, and blue cards in the format, because the color balance in the format is heavily weighted towards brokers cards. A lot of those are just very absurd rates at their mana costs. Let's see what we have in our other colors. In black, we have Great Removal, Double Murder, and Deal Gone Bad. That's about it. Dusk Mangler's a solid card. Shadow of Mortality, we could try it out. Not too much going on in black. When we look at green, we do have that Gala Greeters. We've got Double Civic Gardener, which is fine filler. Riveteer's Decoy, Bouncer's Beatdown, Jewel Thief. Green's pretty spicy. I like green a lot. So maybe yeah, trying to do like green-white as the core. In white, we have Rafine's Informant, one of the best 2-drops in the format. With that Connive effect, Citizen's Crowbar is a nice 2-drop as well, allowing you to have main deck Artifact Enchantment Hate. So I think green-white as the core should be pretty solid here. Mage's Attendant's a phenomenal uncommon, and Skycryer is a solid common creature as well. Yeah, I'm liking green-white, some of the strongest colors in the format. We've got some decent stuff in those colors. Those are all the cards we're definitely playing there. We still need 8 more cards to fill out this deck. If we're splashing in some red, we're going to be playing Ginny Fae, Fleetfoot Dancer, Brazen Upstart. That is about it. We didn't even get an Ominous Parcel for mana fixing. Could try to quick draw Dagger, I guess, if we have a lot of creatures on the ground. We only have 9 creatures right now. Doesn't seem great. So our red gives us Fleetfoot Dancer and Ginny Fae, but our blue gives us Disciplined Duelist, which is also an absurd card. And it's going to give us Disciplined Duelist alongside Majestic Metamorphosis, which is a pretty great blue card. Rooftop Nuisance is phenomenal. Run Out of Town's fine. Maybe green, white, blue. Take a look at green, white, red here, but then we'll take a look at green, white, blue as well. So if we go green, white, red, we have a green, red mana fixer and a green, white, red mana fixer in terms of lands, and another green, white mana fixer. In terms of multicolored cards, we get Upstart, Ginny Fae, and Fleetfoot Dancer. Fleetfoot Dancer is phenomenal. Ginny Fae's good. Although I don't know if we have enough token production that she'll actually do anything. Let's see. With Gala Greeters, she'll do things. With Citizen's Crowbar. With Mage's Attendant. With Jewel Thief. There are 4 cards in here where Ginny Fae will do something. So overall, she's just a kind of hard to cast 3 mana 3/3. But that's okay. I guess we could splash in Exhibition Magicians. Those will make her a bit better. Could run green-red as the core, but again, red is a color that has not played very well. Most of our red cards aren't great. I do like our instant speed red removal. Torch Breath and Call in a Professional seem solid here to splash in. Then maybe for Ginny Fae reasons, we like splashing in Exhibition Magicians. Could even just put in like a big old Wrecking Crew. Even a big score to have some card draw that works with Ginny Fae. Put in a Wrecking Crew off the splash. Then, again, we do have a low creature count here, still just 14, so I guess we put in one of these Magicians, potentially. So we've got all that. We're definitely playing the Courtyard, Headquarters, the Overlook. Don't love any of the green cards we have left over. Don't love the white cards we have left over. One single Gathering Throng is not enough to make that card super good. If we look at this green, white, red Cabaretti deck here. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Fleetfoot Dancer is strong enough to push this direction instead of Brokers, even though Brokers is kind of the deck to beat. Fleetfoot Dancer is just a sick card. We're getting a Call in a Professional and a Torch Breath as well, which are super solid cards. So we're getting those instead of a Disciplined Duelist and, I don't know, Rooftop Nuisance, stuff like that. I'm pretty cool with this color scheme. These are splash cards, so we can treat them as late game plays. Mana base isn't the worst in the world. We only have 3 non-basics, which isn't ideal, but it's not the worst thing ever. Curve's nice. We've got tons of 2-drops to just get out and get attacking. Our curve stops at 5 mana here, so we could even maybe cut a land. Try to get super aggro. I like the look of this Cabaretti deck here, and that's probably what I'm going to go for with this sealed pool. This is the whole deck right now. We don't even need to cut any cards. We can just be like, bam, there's a deck. If I really want to cut a land, I could find something else to throw in here, but I'm already running somewhat filler cards like Broker's Initiate. So, I mean, I'd probably rather cut Broker's Initiate and put another card in if I really wanted to put other stuff in, but there's nothing in our sideboard that's all that powerful left over. Just some okay cards. Guess we can put another Exhibition Magician over Broker's Initiate, but don't think I want to do that. I think I'm pretty set here with this Cabaretti deck. Let's get our mana in order here. We've got 10 green, 12 white, and 7 red, so less red than anything else. Both of our Triumphs can pull out a red source. We only need 1 red source all game. So I feel like 5 red sources is fine. Triple Mountain, double red fetches. Then we're looking at 12 white, 10 green. Some more white than green, but a lot of both of them. We have 5, 6, 7 white right now, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 green. 5, 6, 7. Yep. So just put in 1 more white source, and then we've got 8 and 8 on those. 8 white, 8 green, 5 red. Seems like the mana base we want here does not seem bad at all. I'm going to put in some fancy lands here, give the deck a name, and get into the gameplay. Alright, so here we are. We're going to head into round 1 of the Arena Open. No red source here, and we have 3 of our red cards, but Ginny Fae can be cast without the red mana, and we still have a Decoy on 2, Ginny Fae on 3. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Got our 2-drop and our 3-drop, probably playing Upstart on 4 if we get our red mana by then. Jewel Thief can get us there. Jewel Thief also works really well with Ginny Fey. Definitely play the Headquarters turn 1, tapped. Playing against a blue deck here. Blue, one of the strongest colors in the format. Might be up against a Broker's deck here. I did one run of the Arena Open before this and went 6-3. It was really frustrating and depressing, so I don't know if that one's going to get edited together and uploaded, because the last couple games I just got completely silent, basically, so might do post commentary over it or something. But played a Broker's deck last time, run up against Broker's deck. I think like 8 out of my 9 rounds I was just playing against Brokers, and it was just like, do they have Broker's Ascendancy or no? And I lost against Broker's Ascendancy, Rafine, and something else. Just bonkers bombs, as you do in Sealed. Not the biggest fan of Sealed. It's kind of crazy how much I prefer Draft over Sealed, but you do what you gotta do in the Arena Open. We have to play Sealed to attempt to get to the Day 2 draft. Rooftop Nuisance. Tap down Decoy, draw a card, and hit in with the Rafine's Informant. Definitely playing out like the really good blue-white tempo draft strategy here. Some ideal stuff from our opponent. But it looks like they're white-blue-black. They're Obscura here. So yeah, Rafine's Informant on 2, one of the strongest plays in white in the format, because you get a 2-mana 3-2, and then you Rooftop Nuisance, keep tapping your opponent's stuff down and hitting for 3. Gets you off to a pretty absurd start. So Rafine's Informant coming in, hitting us for another 3, down to 14, down 6 life pretty early in this game. But now we've got Ginny Fey with this Jewel Thief to get a 2-2 cat. Yep. 2-2 cat with haste here. Overlook for our red source. We're not going to attack with Decoy, because Decoy just trades into their 1-1. We will hold Riveteer's Decoy back to go ahead and trade off with Rafine's Informant. We're 100% okay with Ginny Fey trading off 1-for-1 into their removal spell, because we don't have any more token production in hand, and we don't have a lot more in the deck, so Ginny Fey's kind of served her purpose, getting us 1-2-2 cat here. Alright, pass turn here, holding up a bunch of counterspells and removal spells, no doubt. We'll just send in Jewel Thief and the cat before anything else and see what happens. Block here, go for Majestic Metamorphosis maybe? No, take that trade, just take some damage here. Maybe some counterspells from our opponent, see if they want to counter Gala Greeters. Counterspells that you can think of in this format are Make Disappear, which is counter unless you pay 2. So they can make it counter unless they pay 4 if they sacrifice the lackey, but then if they do that, the counterspell's gone and we just drop Brazen Upstart. Okay, we'll go for the Brazen Upstart here. This might get countered because now they don't even have to sack the lackey to counter it with Make Disappear. But we might also see some instant speed removal to kill Gala Greeters. Deal Gone Bad or something like that. They don't have double black for murder yet, though. Checking out their graveyard. Might be wanting to self-mill with Deal Gone Bad, something like that. Or they're going to casualty the thing that returns a creature from their grave to hand to return true creatures from grave to hand. Obscure Charm it is. Just destroy a creature planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Get rid of the Gala Greeters before it gets a +1/+1 counter. Fair enough. 6th mana from our opponent. 15 life to 15 life. Same number of cards in hand. Our board state is winning currently, but our cards in hand are lands, and we don't know what theirs are, so they could definitely catch up here very easily with just one very solid card in hand. Alright, chump block the Brazen Upstart. Expect they probably have Disdainful Stroke. There's no real playing around that at this point because they've got 6 mana up and they haven't been casting anything, so if they have Disdainful Stroke, they're always going to have a blue and 1 up for it at this point. They have so much mana, so we'll just attempt the Wrecking Crew. No Disdainful Stroke. Maybe a Wrath effect, Depopulate. Depopulate wouldn't be that bad for me because they'd still only have 2 cards left in their hand after Depopulate, and Depopulate would allow me to draw a card when Brazen Upstart dies. off of Depopulate's effect, plus draw a card off of Brazen Upstart's effect, so you could kind of just immediately get the fuel needed to reassemble a board state. Girder Goons is the play. Girder Goons is pretty great here. They can double block Wrecking Crew now and kill it. I only get to kill one of their 2 cards. It's probably better to not even attack with Wrecking Crew here. I guess if I attack with Riveteer's Decoy, I force them to not double block Wrecking Crew. So they probably put the fish on the decoy and the 4/4 on Brazen Upstart. I guess their best blocks, though, in terms of creatures left over, would be Girder Goons on decoy. But then the fish doesn't block anywhere well, and they take like 10. Yeah, I'm actually just going to attack all here because of decoy's effect, making it so they can't go for the double block on Wrecking Crew. I feel like I would probably just go 1/1 on decoy, 4/4 on 4/2 here. Yeah. They could go 4/4 on 2/2 if they want to go to 5 life. And they are going to go to 5 life, alright. So we put them to 1 on the next attack if they don't have another blocker out. Shattered Seraph is a pretty great draw here, a 4/4 that gains them 3 life to really get them back into the game. If we run out of gas here, we are out of it. We still don't want that double block on Wrecking Crew, so we send in Brazen Upstart, because when it dies, we get a creature out of the top. Our opponent gets a 2/2 out of the Girder Goons. So hopefully we draw something better than a 2/2. Well, we draw a bunch of 2/2s. Probably want Skycrier here. I think I want Skycrier here because if they double block Wrecking Crew with the Seraph and the 2/2, then we get to keep hitting with the Skycrier. Alright. See if Surprise Reach does anything here, or if they have a trick. 1-for-1 trade as removal. Knockout Blow. Okay, so it's still a 2-for-1 trade. Unless they have another combat trick, which I guess is still a 2-for-1 trade. Okay, cool. Don't really want my opponent to draw more cards, but I want to draw more cards. This is the problem with Skycrier. I guess we're both going to draw here. Rafine's Informant. That's gas. Citizen's Crowbar. That's not bad. It's not bad. Not worth discarding for sure. Oh, I should have equipped the Crowbar to the Flyer. That was a big miss. I always treat this as just like, oh, this is my 2-mana 2/2 that can blow up artifacts and enchantments. But it's like, no, it is an equipment. You can move the equipment around. Just equip that next turn, I guess. Because right now it is letting my 2/2 human trade into their 2/2 rogue. Echo Inspector's pretty beautiful for our opponent. I guess whether or not I use Skycrier, it's still 100% just comes down to who draws better, because we're still both drawing exactly the same number of cards. This doesn't actually really change the outcome of the game, it's just whoever's going to win or lose is going to do it faster. That's probably worth still just doing it here in their end step again. But despite the life totals, it is actually looking in my opponent's favor here, I think. Alright, you're just going to keep top decking combat tricks. Still trading 1-for-1. I trade my 1/1 Citizen into their Boon of Safety. Get rid of it. Since they scryed to the top, it's basically like they didn't even get a scry. So, not a bad trade. Let's both draw here. For the family and a land. I'll trade my For the Family for the Echo Inspector if they want, and if they don't, 2 power life gain swings pretty big. Paragon of Modernity. Become a 3/3 flyer after they activate that ability one time. They've got the mana to do that. We can blow that up with our Citizen's Crowbar, but then we don't have the +1/+1 effect on Skycrier anymore. Should probably go for the trade here. I guess I'm at 18 and I'm gaining more life, so having more creatures makes it more likely I can go wide. Now we have some draws that could be like basically immediately lethal, so... Ooh, yes, I really like drawing cards. So Bouncer's Beatdown's going to do 2 damage right now. Yes, I need to 4 the family, then Bouncer's Beatdown to really mess up any of their blocks. It's probably our plan here. Just keep sending in Skycrier. Okay, now we get that really nice ruin the blocks here. I guess Bouncer's Beatdown does the damage, so we don't actually gain the lifelink here. Yeah, we kill both their flyers. Still on that Skycrier plan. Probably should have attacked with Informant as well. We could have maybe snuck in a couple damage there. Even if they blocked Informant, we could find a way to use those 2 cards to mess up their blocks. Ominous Parcel's a good draw for our opponent here. That will kill the Skycrier now. Not ideal. Draw a card again. Speed things up here. Don't think they can really attack. Well, now that they have Rafine's Informant, they can. Broker's Initiate, it's actually a good draw this late in the game. It's essentially a 5/5, as long as we have the mana for it. It's pretty big on this board state. There's a Buy Your Silence as the draw. Seems like a pretty nice card to have as well. I doubt they're splashing in like Corrupt Court Officials, so I don't think I need to hold on to this land, but there's also pretty much no reason not to. Okay, so we're setting up for some big Broker's Initiate attacks. We'll be attacking as a 6/6. Big enough to attack into the current board state. If they play something too big, we can buy its we can buy its silence. Dig up the body. That is very bad. That's going to be their 2 best creatures from grave. They're going to mill 4 though, so now we can try to play the mill game a little bit. If this game takes 11 more turns, they'll mill out. But now they get a big 4/4 angel that gains 3 life when they play it. Pretty disastrous. Our 6/6 is still big enough to attack into that though, plus we can exile that. Hostile Takeover gets milled here. That would be the red splash. The Wrath effect there. And Echo Inspector is the other pickup. So pretty big cards here. Echo Inspector connives again, so they go down to 8 cards in library. But I think our Broker's Initiate plan is still the main plan. We just buy the silence of the Seraph here. And Echo Inspector will eventually just be forced to chump block. I've already got the mana to use Broker's Initiate's effect twice, so I still don't need to play another land. Probably will here. Go for a chump block with Informant, I'm guessing. Yep, and we buff that Initiate to 6/6 status. There's the Shattered Seraph again, which will gain them some more life, making it take even longer to kill them. But as long as they don't get into the aggressive position, we can still win the mill game on them. Buy Your Silence on Shattered Seraph. Hit in for 8 this turn, forcing them to block next turn. And they're going to go ahead and scoop them up. That is going to be 1-0 to start off the Arena Open. Another Ginny Fae hand here. All 3 colors of mana this time. The Jewel Thief to play after the Ginny Fae. Looks pretty good to me. kill shot for some interaction as well. Pretty happy with this overall. Turn 2 Civil Servant from our opponent can be a death sentence if they followed up with a turn 3 Citizen, one of the fastest ways to win a game of Streets of New Capenna. No Citizen this turn, luckily for us. Just hit us with the 2-3. Use Obscure Storefront to pull out a a white, blue, or black source. Pick up the blue source, so Brokers it is. And we'll drop our Ginny Fey here turn 3. Hope for the best from her, but if they have removal, she'll just draw removal. Turn 4 from our opponent. Double white, a blue, and a green source up. Elegant Entourage it is. That can lead to some very explosive attacks, but now we have double kill shot up for blocks. Plus, play some decent blockers here. I might even want to play a 3-1 dog instead of a 2-2 cat just to have more power. So a 3-1 can block a 2-3. Usually you want the cat because you want to be able to just attack immediately. Plus it's harder for it to die to like 1-1s. But I think the dog here does not look bad to me. I'm going to go for the dog. Pass the turn. I guess Elegant Entourage is going to make it pretty hard to block profitably, giving +1/+1 and trample to something every turn. No, I should have just taken the cat. You're probably supposed to just always take the cat, because if I had the cat, I'd have 5 toughness for a double block, so double block with a 3-3 and a 2-2 against a 4-4 or 3-4 of theirs. Can't really do that this way. I'm pretty okay losing Ginny Fey, though, because again, our deck doesn't have that much token production. But we're also pretty fine to take 3 damage here. It's no major biggie. Yeah, we just take 3. Exile the Entourage, so we get attacking with the dog here. And then hold up our kill shots after this turn. Vigilant attackers coming on in. Jewel Thief for Jewel Thief. The fairest trade in the game. And pass turn. 5th mana from our opponent, with 2 treasure tokens alongside it. They're going to go ahead and buy Ginny Fey's Silence. So we'll get a treasure token out of her at least. Alright, our dog's putting in work. It's just going to keep sending in here until they decide to trade Civil Servant into it. For the family, we'll win the fight, and I think it's probably worth doing that, because then we'll still have the 4 mana up we need to play a Dapper Shieldmate. Alright, dog's just going to hang out, and we'll cast our Shieldmate, holding up our For the Family here. Sleep with the Fishes? No, hold for Ransom. Shieldmate can't attack or block until we spend 7 to get rid of that, and when we do, our opponent will draw a card off of it. Ooh, Spar's Adjudicator is really good here. Our dog cannot attack or block for a turn, and Civil Servant is going to get +1/+1 lifelink because Adjudicators is a citizen. That's really brutal. If we had 1 more mana here, kill shot would have been phenomenal. Unfortunate. Ooh, Riveteer's Decoy is going to be nice in the future. But we're going to wait till they have just like a Civil Servant up, hopefully. Like maybe this turn. Nope. That's a big old Ballroom Brawler's up. No attacks. Alright, pass to our turn then. Bouncer's Beat Down. We can do 4 damage wherever we want it. Riveteer's Decoy +4 the family. Can kill whatever they block with. But then I have no more mana up, so I can't Bouncer's Beat Down that turn. Could just Bouncers beat down the Adjudicators and just hit in for 1 in the sky. What does Ballroom Brawlers do? It gives First Strike or Lifelink. Oof. Lifelink's pretty big. We do have the mana for Bouncers Beatdown and Kill Shot. So that's probably the play. Bouncers Beatdown and Kill Shot. We do send in with the Sky Crier. Can do it at instant speed. Do we want to wait for their turn, or do we want to give them the opportunity to draw into pump spells? I don't think I want them to draw into any pump spells here. I don't want to give them the chance of that, so I'm just going to kill the Adjudicators right now. And then we'll Kill Shot the Brawlers. Land for turn, Courier's Briefcase. There's going to be a 1/1 and a treasure token here until they draw a red source. If they draw a red source, they'll get to draw 3 cards. Brawler's probably giving First Strike here, so they can beat the dog. Yep, First Strike it is. Oh, and they got a Citizen token from the Briefcase. Actually, kind of want to stop Civil Servant's lifelink more than killing the Brawlers right now then. Yeah, I still have another Kill Shot to kill the Brawlers later. Riveteer's Overlook. We're winning the onboard race because we're going to Kill Shot the Brawlers. So we just hold up Kill Shot for the family and crack our Overlook here. And we just need our opponent to not draw drastically better than us. And we've got this one. Because they need to draw well enough to make up for the fact that we have 2 more cards than them. Ballroom Brawlers coming on in. No, it is not. Ballroom Brawlers is not coming on in. Cabaret Courtyard is the draw. We play a Riveteer's Decoy here, and for the family will now give +4/+4. +4/+4 is big enough to beat the Brawlers even without... without a blitz or anything here. So we might just hardcast Riveteer's Decoy and not blitz it in. Although Riveteer's Decoy, a 3/1 against their 1/1 is going to be really bad in the future, so it's probably better to draw the card off of it. Let's do so. Not sending the dog in though, they probably just trade the 1/1 off here. If I send in the dog, then they get to block both, one with a 3/5, one with a 1/1, and I'll lose one of these creatures in a bad way. Guess I think we just do that. And hopefully they assume I just want to draw cards off Decoy. Nope, they're gonna let the Decoy trade off, so we're not gonna kill Brawlers here. Draw Spara's Headquarters. That is not bad. That is not bad at all, because we can cycle that land away. Rafine's Informant is the play. Very solid one. That's going to connive, draw them a card and discard a card. Let them filter towards their better cards in their library. Now they get an attack off with Brawlers, probably giving lifelink here, which is very annoying. Yep. Alright, we really don't want more lands, so I'm cycling the absolute hell out of this headquarters. We've got another green source in hand. Let's actually go like that. Another land. Well, can't win them all. Kill shot on Brawlers for the family to beat Informant. For the family doesn't even beat it because it's only +2/+2 right now until we get another creature. So we just can't attack into Informant. We're just doing Skycrier things again. And it's looking like our opponent's digging themselves out of this one. If we keep missing on draws, they can definitely get out. Wow. Yeah. That'll definitely do it. Turns it firmly into our opponent's favor. That's a draw 2 for our opponent. So now they are up in the card advantage game. Attack both, give both lifelink here. At this point, I'll trade. I should have just traded the dog off for the Informant earlier, I think. I'm just going to save the shield mate here instead of attacking with what I have on board. Have a kill shot of their own. Knockout blow. 4 damage, can't stop that. Civic Gardener. Alright. Cleanup Crew, that's a very good card. 6/6 and they gain 4 life. More lands. Get in there, shield mate. Trade our shield token and for the family into the cleanup crew. Get it out of here. Pass the turn. Okay, another Civic Gardener. We're getting there. Scuttling Butler, 4/1. That'll trade off into our 4/2. Them for 4, they're down to 9. Here's Gala Greeters. We kill them in 2 attacks. Speakeasy Server. That's a 3/3 against a bunch of 2/2s. God, I hate top deck wars. Citizen's Crowbar. Actually pretty good here. Because now we can start attacking with 1 3/3 a turn. Bounce that shield counter out of here. Pass to our turn. Rafine's Informant's wonderful. Okay. Counter on Greeters, draw discard. Let them trade Greeters off into the flyer, I think. Attack all, I hit for 3. Don't think we attack all though. Mage's Attendant, that's multiple blockers, a 3/2 and a 1/1 here. Which is pretty big. Call in a Professional can screw up a double block when they try to double block Gala Greeters with a 3/2 and a 1/1. Just a chump, though. Okay. Move the crowbar over. Pass. Goes to our turn. Our own Mage's Attendant with Gala Greeters. That's pretty phenomenal. I forgot we even had one in the deck. Definitely don't need treasure tokens, so 1 counter and then gain 2. They have the double block to kill that. All their stuff has 2 toughness, so we attack one with everything with at least 2 power. I probably should have put the crowbar on our 1/1 and then sent all in. Yeah, that was not our best attack. Best attack would be crowbar onto the 1/1. Send all. But close enough, hopefully, for just lethal right there. And it is lethal right there. That is going to be 2-0 to start off this Arena Open run. Round 3 here, we've got a turn 2 Gala Greeters followed by Riveteer's Decoy and some stuff. We are on the draw, which is not ideal, but hopefully this hand can make up for it. No red source either, but red is sort of the splash here. And Gala Greeters can get a treasure token, worst case scenario. Opponent starts with a turn 2 Crooked Custodian, getting aggressive here, a 2-mana 3/2. Definitely no blocks here, down to 17. They are just on 2 mana here. Ginny Faye with Gala Greeters would be insane. Unfortunately, we can't actually cast her because we need another green source or a red source right now. So currently, she's uncastable. So currently, all we can do is either Kill Shot or Riveteer's Decoy. I think I go Riveteer's Decoy. I think we actually get that treasure token here, so that we know we can cast her next turn and try to Gala Greeters into Ginny Faye for a really good start. There's our opponent's 3rd mana. They are on Riveteers, green, black, and red. Incriminate will sack the Decoy because of Gala Greeters' synergy with Ginny Faye. And then Jewel Thief is the draw. So we'll Ginny Faye. Get a tapped 2/2 or a tapped 3/1. Black has the Blitz cards that do -1/-1 and stuff. I'm just going to get 2/2s. And then we still get a counter on Gala Greeters here. Or we gain 2 life. I'm going to gain 2 life. Gala Greeters is already a massive target for removal with this 2-card combo. I feel like I just want to make sure I can survive any early onslaught from our opponent. If we untap with Gala Greeters and Ginny Faye here, Jewel Thief's going to be an absurd play next turn. It's going to be Jewel Thief, get a treasure token, which is going to be a 2/2 cat, which is going to trigger Gala Greeters again. Gala Greeters is going to trigger off of Jewel Thief and the 2/2 cat, so I get another treasure token, which is another 2/2 cat, plus I gain 2 more life. If our opponent doesn't have a Wrath effect, I think things are looking really up for us, but they are green, red, and black. There's a red-black Wrath in the format, as well as a potential blue-black red Wrath. So I think I'd actually rather play the smaller creatures like Exhibition Magician here, because we're going to get so many creatures out of this stuff anyway. keep the better cards for later. So cast Exhibition Magician here. Don't really think it matters the order here. Untapped 3-1 against these 3/3s and stuff seems solid. Gain 2 life here. 2/2 or 3/1. This one's going to be tapped. Get a tap 2/2. Get a counter. Alright, well. This is pretty fun. Janife Golog Readers together. Doing some wild stuff for sure. Just gotta get this Jewel Thief out of the way. These would be really easy blocks. They can do whatever combat tricks they want here, and I still won't feel that bad because we can still get a million more creatures next turn. Well, those are the blocks we've been setting up here. $15 life, so there's not going to be some massive combat trick that just kills me out of nowhere here thanks to all the life gain from Golog Readers. Deal gone bad. Going to hit our dog and mill us some. To save their Jewel Thief so they still have some blockers. Okay. Well, we're not going to be able to kill Jewel Thief, so we're not going to be able to attack into it super well. Let's just get our own Jewel Thief. This is going to be untapped. Okay, they're going to scoop them up. I was going to say probably untapped dog here. This is a whole Rube Goldberg machine of nonsense to keep track of here. And I guess our opponent does not have Wrath effects in their deck, because that's about the only way out here. If they can Wrath us, we basically start the game over. We've got our 4-card hand, they've got their 4-card hand if they draw into a Wrath. But yeah, I mean, if they don't have a Wrath, this is just insane, all this together. So that's going to be the concession from our opponent. That's going to be 3-0 to start off this Arena Open. Round 4 now in the Streets of New Capenna Sealed Arena Open. Not an ideal start. 4 lands is a bit much for an opener, but we do have Jewel Thief and Dapper Shieldmate on 3 and 4, which are pretty good plays, and we are on the play here, so if we draw like a 2-drop here, this hand's going to be great, like if we hit a Golog Readers or something. No 2-drop, just more lands for us. If we hit more lands here, we could very much run out of gas quickly and lose to that, so fingers crossed no more lands. We do get a Broker's Initiate. Not a land, but a 1-drop is not ideal to draw on turn 3. I guess we could slam it down here with this treasure token, but this treasure token's our only red source right now. If we top deck a good red card, and a 0/4 is not going to do anything until we have 5 mana up to buff it anyway. Don't think it's worth sacking the treasure here. Playing against Brokers here, green, white, blue, and Rigo with Skycrier down is an obnoxiously good start to a game. They get to draw an additional card every turn that they attack with Skycrier, and we've got nothing to really stop that. I guess we could kill shot the Skycrier, but not until they've already drawn 2 cards off of Rigo, making Rigo at minimum a 3-for-1. They draw 2 cards plus get a Rigo out of their 1 card. So yeah, we've gotten 3-for-1 by Rigo guaranteed here, so that is very obnoxious. I guess. Yeah, and if they get value out of the shield counter from Rigo as well, they like 4-for-1 us. Yeah, this is super bad. We're definitely on kill shot here. And I think I even have to play efficiently here and get my 2-drop down and spend the treasure on the kill shot, even though that is using my red mana. We can't let our opponent just draw an extra card every turn of this game. Skycrier into Rigo seems like a pretty great start for our opponent's Broker's deck. Not as fancy of a Rube Goldberg machine as we had last game, but gonna be pretty much just as good. It's very hard to win a game where your opponent draws twice as many cards as you. So we're going to attempt to stop that here. Alright, they are still going to draw the card this turn, but now we've dealt with the Skycrier. Main phase 2, our opponent has so many cards in hand they can't decide what is best. They've got 8 cards here, they gotta play something or they'll discard. Inspiring Overseer seems like a pretty great one to cast. That will leave them with 8 cards in hand again unless they play a land, so they do play a land as well. Well, doing what I can here, but things are looking pretty grim. We're down to 2 cards in hand here. Our opponent still has a full grip of 7 because they've drawn 2 off of Rigo and 1 off of Inspiring Overseer. Just an immense amount of card advantage going on our opponent's board, as you can expect from the brokers in this format. Wing Shield Agent is the play. Can give something else flying every time it attacks. Now they have 4 power, all with shield counters. So they can just double block Jewel Thief and I just get rid of shield counters. They don't even lose a creature. Yeah, this is how Brokers is so obnoxious because they have so many good card advantage spells like Inspiring Overseer, and then they just also have everything that comes with a shield counter can just be a 2-for-1 as well, because you can trade your shield counter into a creature like this where they double block. Just trade shield counters into Jewel Thief and still have their creatures on board. Things look really grim here. I'm just going to send in Shieldmate, trade a shield counter for a shield counter here, I suppose. Or hit them for 4. Alright, we're going to get Rigo's shield counter. And then we'll drop our Broker's Initiate. Again, we have basically 0 cards in hand. Our opponent has 7. 8 because of their draw step. It's basically over, but this is an Arena Open event, so I'm not going to scoop them up here. If I weren't recording, I would probably just scoop them up. If I weren't recording and it wasn't an Arena Open. Another Inspiring Overseer. Just a phenomenal sealed pool from our opponent. Multiples of the best white common in the format as well. They have the Broker's Hideout for their Broker's deck. Well, Wrecking Crew is going to block these Overseers, which is going to drag this game out longer. It's not really going to get us in a winning position, but make us die more slowly. Send in Jewel Thief. We actually kill something here. If they want to kill Jewel Thief, we get to kill something. Could send in Broker's Initiate as well, but if they don't block Broker's Initiate, I'm not going to spend the 5 to buff it anyway. So I feel like they're just not going to block and then we're not going to do anything. So here's Wrecking Crew. Should have played land first in case they have Make Disappear. They have Disdainful Stroke, so it wouldn't matter. Hold on to this land. We'll scare them into thinking we've still got cards against their full grip. Okay then, opponent. Opponent just actually has the best sealed pool out of anybody playing right now. Triple Inspiring Overseer is insane, and double... This is not a sealed pool, this is a draft deck. What the actual... I am going to concede now, I don't care. I know I could play longer, but we are not winning that matchup. That is just a phenomenal deck from our opponent. A very good sealed pool. 3-1 it is. Here we are in round 5, probably our most awkward hand yet. Triple red cards here with no red source, but Jewel Thief gives us a treasure. We are on the draw as well, and we do have a 2-drop, so I am going to keep this. If we hit any land, Jewel Thief gives us the treasure we need to cast one of these red cards. And then whenever we hit a red source, we're set for life. We got a full grip of action. Our opponent is on Cabaretti as well, but they've got fancier lands than us, that's for sure. Big full art Jetmir's Garden. Turn 3 for our opponent. Plasma Jockey it is. Just blitz that out, get 3 damage and draw a card. Just wanting to cycle that Jockey to draw a card. Probably digging for more lands or something. If they just want to cycle it this early. We'll get our Jewel Thief down and slam in for 2. Cabaretti Courtyard is the 4th land, pulling a Mountain, Plains, or Islands into play tapped. Mountain, Plains, or Forest. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Three drop here? No, they go for a Gold Hound for 1 red. 1/1 First Striker, Menace. They're going to hold our Jewel Thief for ransom. Okay, we get to keep attacking with Civic Gardener. Could cast a Brazen Upstart here. Could cast an Exhibition Magician and replace the treasure token immediately. So we could go... Magician's not good against the 1/1 First Striker is the problem. So I think we want to play Upstart, but I can play Magician and Upstart because Civic Gardener can untap my Forest here. I also have multiple ways to potentially blow up that Gold Hound if we hit a red source eventually. I'm probably just casting Brazen Upstart here. Yeah, and if we ever hit a red source, we can blow up Gold Hound easily if we need to. We don't need to for any of our cards currently on board. Wrecking Crew is the play. We draw a Forest. Not ideal. Yep, that'll hold off all of our attacks, and now we really need that red source. Skycrier now. Gala Greeters can get us a red source when we play more creatures. Can't hold up Kill Shot and do that, but looks like they don't even want to attack with Wrecking Crew anyway, so we're only worried about them attacking with Skycrier. That's just going to be 1 damage here. I'd actually be really happy to see Skycrier have us both drawing cards here, because I feel like we need to draw more cards more desperately than our opponent does, because we need that red source big time. But you can always time Skycrier to where it's more advantageous to you, like doing it right now, where I can't cast whatever I've drawn, but my opponent can. Oh, they're going to Torch Breath Brazen Upstart. I'm pretty okay with that. Now they do have active... Wow, that's awful. Never mind. I guess our opponent just knew our top 5 were no creatures, so they could get max value off of that. But, yeah, now they have attacks with Wrecking Crew, but again, if they do that, we can attack back pretty well. Get hit kind of hard, but not that badly. I mean, we're down to 12. They've only got 1 card in hand here. Well, we've got Kill Shot to kill their Wrecking Crew. Or did they even hit off with Upstart? I guess they got shuffled in at random, so I don't even know if they had any red sources of ours. Could actually spend 1 mana and then untap the 1 mana with Civic Gardener's effects. Rabble Rousing, that's an unbeatable rare. Not entirely, but it's one of the highest win rate rares in the entire format, and it's really powerful. Every time they attack, they get a 1/1 into play untapped, so they have the blockers at the ready that they need. And if they ever get 10 creatures, they cast their card for free, but that part's completely unnecessary. Just getting a 1/1 every single time they attack is incredibly powerful. They're going to prize fight in response to my kill shots to kill our Civic Gardener. Pretty cool with that. That means our Gala Greeter survives. But that's 2 1/1s for our opponent and another non-red source. Game looks pretty over here. Kill a single 1/1 on the attack. Kill a single 1/1 on the block. Doesn't really matter if we attack or block with Initiate here. Opponent sacks Racer's Ring to draw a card. Skycrier. Go to blocks. And we just died a Rabble Rousing. Another green source. We're not dead yet. I'll give it another turn. But not only are we stuck on red mana, but we have to play against Rabble Rousing. Not a particularly fun game of Magic. Or a particularly fair one. They get to cast their spell for free as well. Rabble Rousing has created like 15 tokens at this point because it just keeps stacking up. Yeah, it is actually totally over. We don't have a Wrath in our deck. 3-2 it is. And if I lose this run, I am not going to play any more of this Arena Open, or frankly this format. I'm just going to play quick drafts of the other formats when they bring them back. I have been having a really bad time with Streets of New Capenna lately. Not that I've had a bad win rate, but that is just not a fun format to me. Because I did one Arena Open for this, and it was a 6-3 run, but I still hated 95% of the time playing it. All right. See if we can pull this into a victory here. We cannot lose another round or we are out of this Arena Open run. And this is green, white, red. This has Ginny Faye into Fleetfoot Dancer. Go for Cabaret Courtyard for a green source. And hope for the best. Tramway Station's the turn 1 play from our opponent. Let's get our Civic Gardener down turn 2. Can't play a turn 3 Fleetfoot Dancer because Civic Gardener doesn't actually ramp you up, since you can only untap the mana during combat. They're just going to strangle Civic Gardener. I'm very, very happy with that choice from our opponent because that's one less removal spell they might be able to use on Ginny Faye. Not that we have any token production here, but she's still a 3-3. And then a Fleetfoot Dancer turn 4. If they don't get a good blocker down, being able to hit them for 7 and gain 4 on turn 4 is going to be a huge swing. They have a solid blocker, though, so we don't get to attack with Ginny Faye this turn, but we certainly get to attack with Fleetfoot Dancer. Hit them for 4 and gain 4. Such a wild card. Our opponent is on red and black, though, so they are some of the most removal prevalent colors in the format. So if they have a murder, our Fleetfoot Dancer is very much going to get murdered. Alright, so on board here, the only way to kill our Fleetfoot Dancer would be if they double block, and if they double block, we can Torch Breath. So we could attack all here. We don't have any token production for Ginny Faye, so if they just want a 1-for-1 trade into Ginny Faye this time, that's fine, because that guarantees Fleetfoot Dancer is just nice and safe. Cool. Now we'll hold on to Kill Shot and Torch Breath here. Stay on the Fleetfoot Dancer train. Kill Shot this Jewel Thief if it attacks, and since it has Vigilance, it might actually attack, even though our opponent's on the defensive. Kaldaya Strongarm is the play. Gonna make Jewel Thief a 5-5, and I'm really happy to be able to Kill Shot that. We just take 2 damage this turn. Our opponent does draw a card here, but this is still a fantastic kill shot. We are down to 26, soon to be 30 off of Fleetfoot Dancer. Riveteer's Decoy. Don't really think I want to blitz that in for just 3 damage one time. I'd rather cast it post-combat, so it can attempt to attack multiple times. It also pulls the aggro from Fleetfoot Dancer, so they have to block the Riveteer's Decoy instead. If they play like a 4/4 here, that would be able to trade into the Dancer. Nightclubber is pretty dang good against us here. Kills the Riveteer's Decoy. Gives them a blocker for the Dancer. Sad day. The 2-for-1. I'm not going to buy it Silence, I'll just Torch Breath it if something bad happens here. Which I don't think it will. I think we're just going to get in. Yep. Now we just hold on to Torch Breath and Kill Shot at instant speed, save a Buy Your Silence for during our turn to get rid of another blocker. Our opponent has 5 mana now. Actually looking pretty sad that we didn't blitz the Decoy out, because we would have gotten 3 damage and a card draw out of it instead of stone cold nothing, since our opponent had the Nightclubber. Opponent's just gonna pass turn here. Sure. Save our Torch Breath up again. Evelyn the Covetous. Big old 2/5 that exiles a card from both of our decks. We'll go ahead and kill her before she does anything good. She gets to exile the cards no matter what. But then they go for the double block, we kill her. Trample over the Nightclubber here. Oh, she's a blue permanent as well. This has cost 2 less to cast. So we can do this for 2 less mana. I guess makes it look like we're holding something up. Do X equals 5. We do that, and then... Oh, I guess it'll just auto-pay the mana that we need. What am I on about? There. Trample over for 2. Our opponent's down to 3. Now they can't cast that Strangle because they don't have an Evelyn. Opponent goes up to 4 with Riveteer's Overlook. If they just spend all their mana on a blocker here, we Buy Your Silence and go for the kill. But if they have a removal spell... We are out of gas. We don't have any creatures. Plasma Jockey is just the blocker, so Buy Your Silence should be game. Get rid of the 1 blocker here. Send in for exact lethal. Luxurious Libation to make a 1/1 blocker to survive with 1 life left. Alright, well now we don't have our Buy Your Silence for another big creature to get out of the way here, which can definitely be a problem. Jetmir's Fixer can be a 4/4, they can double buff it. Trade into the Fleetfoot Dancer with that. So we play more creatures here, and we try to go wide around our opponent's board state. Oh, they don't have double green or double red, because they only have 1 treasure token, so we actually do have lethal on board. They need another trick alongside the Jetmir's Fixer here. What? I despise this format. Good God. Alright. 2 Evelyns in their deck, which means now they have Strangle again. And they can double block and kill Fleetfoot Dancer, and they have Argala Greeters, which means they have life gain at their disposal. Seems pretty good, opponent. Just 2 Evelyns, I guess. Alright, Skycrier, come on out. They have to strangle the Skycrier here, play a Gala Greeters as a blocker. Wait, what? Once each turn you may play a card from exile. They can only play one of them. Oh my god, okay, so we still just win. If they can only play one of the cards. No, we don't. We don't still win because they still have a reach creature. So even with the punt of just playing a land there, our opponent just has a reach creature in hand anyway. Seems good. Alright, well, I thought our opponent punted it away there, but a reach creature will save them. Skycrier, what do we got? Dapper Shieldmate. That's too much mana. That is too much mana. We are at 46-1 here, and we have a direct damage burn spell in our deck. Call on a professional. But Gala Greeters, they get our own lifelink against us, or life gain against us. Pugilist is very good with Gala Greeters, because that's potentially another creature every turn they attack with that. Draw a card off the headquarters here, and we still have our 4 mana for Dapper Shieldmates. Do I have any double green or double white in this deck? No, I do not. There's Call on a Professional. They're tapped out, 3 damage to face. 4 and 2? 4 and 2. Okay. I really thought our opponent was going to start running away with that one. If they had another turn, they probably would have. Because if they got just one more turn there, play one more creature, they go to 5 life. My 1 major out is no longer an out. They have so many creatures on board. We're very unlikely to break through for any damage. Keep getting life off Pugilist attacking. We have to make some trades there probably to stop that from happening in the future. Double Evelyn, that was terrifying. 4 and 2 it is. Only 1 win away from getting some gems back out of this event, which is probably the best I can hope for, best I can cross my fingers for with this format. So hopefully we can get there. Win this just one more game here. Call it a day. No red source again is not looking great, but our opponent's on the play. We can play Broker's Initiate no matter what, so we're blocking some early game plays, and we have a For the Family. This is probably not worth it. I think I am going to mulligan here. No red source again, but this time we have Rafine's Informant, which connives to help us try to draw into that source. Can even get rid of a Plains here because we have Informant and Decoy if we don't hit a land. And Informant's digging us farther to help try to hit that land. Green and blue from our opponent. Courier's Briefcase on turn 2. Probably Brokers again. Drop the Rafine's Informant turn 2. Draw a card, discard a card. Discard this Wrecking Crew. We're miles away from that. Or For the Family would be the worst discard ever. But I guess it's one of the few spells we can actually cast. Yeah, I mean, we're just miles away from Wrecking Crew. Discard that card here. So here we're on the draw plus conniving off Rafine's Informant, so we're digging pretty far. Try to get that 3rd land. Our opponent digging as well. They are Brokers, green, white, blue, with that turn 3 Inspiring Overseer. Unfortunately for us, no turn 3 land, but we do have a Gala Greeters, which is a good card. Could attack it with Informant and just trade into their flyer. Wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, if we really want to, we can For the Family here. Alright, just hit for 3, and then cast our Greeters. and pass the turn. No third land. We can play Decoy, get a treasure token with it. Attack with Informant before anything else here, I think. Alright. Decoy for a treasure token. And pass the turn. Still no white source from our opponents, so probably not a lot of non-white cards in hand here if we just see them hold 5 mana up and do nothing with it. No third land for us at all, though, so I don't even know who's worse off. All kinds of tricks we get to hold up here. We probably just attack with Informant. Decoy just runs right into their 1/1, though. That doesn't feel particularly good. Probably go for attack with Informant, and then post-combat Mage's Attendant here, because we can get a treasure token, and a 1/1 back out of this. Honestly, it might even be worth casting For the Family here, but probably not, because we're going to have 4 creatures out after this combat. So For the Family is going to be like really big on our next combat. Still no white source for our opponent. Still no third land for us. This is ridiculous. Is this a game of Magic? I guess technically. Okay, so they have to block this 1/1, deal like 6. I mean, why not? Trade our 3/1 off now, I guess. It's gonna happen eventually. Don't think it's worth the For the Family here. They're down to 9. 4/2 Vigilance. Get our treasure token back. Thank Arena for this Gala Greeters. My god. Literally nothing would be happening on either side of the table if it weren't for this Gala Greeters. This game. Wow, yeah, Gala Greeters takes it single-handedly. If it weren't for that, no one was going to do anything till like turn 8, where they drew their blue-white land. And then we were just going to lose to their white source there. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess that's one way to get some gems back out of the event. That is our 5th win. So we are getting 1,000 gems back, I believe, out of the 5,000 we had to pay in. Yep, 1,000 gems back. All right, so next loss and we're out of it, but if we manage to get 2 more wins, we do get to make it to day 2. If I'm going to lose and get out of this one, I'd like to lose at a 5-3, because, oh, is it heartbreaking to go 6-3. That was my first Arena Open event today. It was really sad. So, if we lose this game, that's not the saddest thing in the world. 5-3, that's fine, that's whatever. But if I win this game, then lose the next one, I'm just going to uninstall Arena and never play Streets of New Capenna again. Just reinstall when the next set comes out. Alright, so opponent is on the play here. Our mana is pretty great. We've got good 2-drops, good 3-drops. I'm going to keep this hand here. Probably going Informant into Magician for the Citizen token to get For the Family more active. And then probably going for a Riveteer's Decoy on 4. See if we can trade into one of their cards and draw a card in the process. Two mana from our opponent, and Civic Gardener is the turn to play. We've got multiple kill shots now. We might discard one of those to the Informant, depending on what we draw into. Drawn to a 4th mana. Actually, everything in our hand costs 3 or less. We're probably just discarding the 4th land. But then the Rafine's Informant's still just a 2-1 instead of a 3-2. How important is it for it to be a 3-2? Not that important here because our opponent is green-red. They already have a 2-mana 2-2. They're probably going to play a bunch of 2-power creatures that are just going to trade into Informant, whether or not the Informant's a 2-1 or a 3-2. High-Rise Sawjack is the play. And they pass the turn. Get this Exhibition Magician with a 1-1 setting up a solid for the family here. Pretty happy I discarded the land because we've drawn a 5th land now. We've got our kill shots at the ready once they start playing big bomby creatures, and until then, just solid stuff to trade with on board. Riveteer's Decoy will be pretty good next turn if they don't get a better blocker for it. We can blitz it out to kill one of their creatures and draw a card. That'll put us up a card in the exchange. Sticky Fingers, uh-oh. So we gotta double block that to kill it. I could 1-for-1 trade our Exhibition Magician into it unless they want to play a combat trick here, and then we 1-for-1 trade the Magician into the combat trick. So that seems pretty fine for me. I guess it's not a 1-for-1 because they do draw a card here off of the Sticky Fingers. But it looks like they're going to go ahead and use some kind of combat trick potentially. Trade a combat trick into our Magician, and the Magician's 1-1. Prize Fight. Okay, they're just going to wipe our whole board then. Sure, but now they're down to just a 2-2. Okay. Riveteer's Decoy doesn't actually look that exciting, just trading into a 2-2. May just cast a Brazen Upstart here. Both at 21. I just take 2. Yeah, I'm just going to cast an Upstart. We'll see if they play a better creature that dies to Riveteer's Decoy next turn. That could be pretty nice. And this way we get to keep something threatening on the board after our turn instead of just clearing the whole board. With a For the Family, if we get another green source, we can make sure the Decoy is always going to be big enough to kill something. It'll be costing us another card, though. Alright, Inspiring Overseer, pretty great card. Gains them life, draws them a card, and it's a 2-1 flyer. Probably send Decoy into that. A Brazen Upstart of their own. This is the mirror match, but our opponent has hit a lot more card draw than we have, which is not ideal at all. Jewel Thief's actually kind of spicy here, because if we Jewel Thief, we get to hold up our For the Family combat trick, and unless we're just like trading upstarts here, I can have For the Family beat one of their creatures. Okay, so we'll have For the Family beat the Civic Gardener. Pass the turn. Things still seem pretty even in terms of board state and cards in hand. 3 cards in hand for us, 3 for them. 2 creatures on board for each of us that are pretty equivalent. Freelance Muscle is way bigger than everything else on board right now, but Kill Shot can kill that on an attack. It does get the extra power on the blocks as well, though, so we can't attack our Brazen Upstart into that. Gala Greeters is a pretty nice pickup for our opponent here. Off the top with Brazen Upstart. Pass turn, holding up our Kill Shot on this Freelance Muscle because we can't attack into their Freelance Muscle. There's the Gala Greeters. They've got 2 cards left in hand. No more creatures, fingers crossed. Mythic Rare Bomb creature it is. As long as they control 3 or more creatures, their creatures have +1/+0 and Vigilance. Which is very, very good. We're going to Kill Shot the heck out of the Freelance Muscle. We're still going to take that Inspiring Overseer damage. Dapper Shieldmate is the draw. I've got kind of like Stone Cold Nothing here. Probably just on Brazen Upstart for blocks again, because it keeps them to just attacking with Overseer. Actually, I probably should have attacked with Brazen Upstart, so that they can trade off Gala Greeters into it, so that they could actually attack with Jetmir, because if they're not attacking with Jetmir, like, we're not going to kill it any other way than this kill shot. So we have to convince them to attack with Jetmir. But then I'm trading my Brazen Upstart now into a Social Climber, and then I'm taking like 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm just dying to Jetmir even if I kill it. Guess we shoot the flyer here and just keep playing. Just keep playing blockers. 4 power creature for that one, 3 power creature for that one. And I can't afford to attack with Brazen Upstart because it's my only 4 power creature to block Jetmir. We could have taken that attack with Brazen Upstart line last turn. I mean, I guess if you think about it, the most likely thing that happens there is that our opponent's just down to 18 instead of 22 now. And we're still losing just as hard because they just don't block. I don't know. I don't think there's any shot at this point. I think our only shot would have been if we took that line and our opponent misplayed. And traded off into Upstart and then decided to start attacking with Jetmir and we could kill shot it. But now it just feels very over. We do have ways to kill Jetmir still, and if we get Jetmir off the board, then the board states are equivalent. But with Gala Greeters and Jetmir, our opponent definitely top decks better than us, because any creature that hits the board is giving them even more value. From both of their effects, it's potentially making their board even bigger with Jetmir, and it's it's giving them more treasure tokens for +1/+1 counters with Gala Greeters. I guess I can trade Dapper Shieldmate into a creature here, which is not bad. Trade the shield counter into a creature, potentially. It's only a 2/2 on blocks, so I think it's way better on the attack. But even on blocks, it's not bad. Ready to rumble on our Gala Greeters. RIP, my friend. Okay, yeah, I mean, we still have a shot here. Let's not call it before it's over. There's By Your Silence that gets rid of Jetmir. They no longer have Vigilance, but they still have a pretty good board state anyway. Couple 3/2s and a 4/4. I might attack with Upstart now. And then By Your Silence post-combat? That might be way too bold. Ooh, Ginny Fae. Or Broker's Niche. I can get a 5/5, or I can get a 3/3 that makes any tokens I draw creatures. How many tokens do I have left that I could draw? Mage's Attendant is 1. Citizen's Crowbar is 2. I have 2 cards left in my deck that make tokens. So I actually think I take Broker's Initiate over Ginny Fae. Because we can cast it this turn alongside the By Your Silence, and it'll be a 5/5 on attacks and blocks, which is huge. Okay, so post-combat, we're going to say goodbye to Jetmir. It's possible we're even supposed to shoot Gala Greeters there. Because Jetmir only works if they have 3 or more creatures, but if they top decked a creature like they just did, that would be horrible for us. Professional Facebreaker is also the best red card in the format. It's going to draw them an extra card each turn off of their treasure tokens. And every time they hit us, they get another treasure token. Wow, and they got a card that produces a treasure token, so they don't even need to hit us another time for another draw off of Facebreaker here. And the Gala Greeters is going to keep going off because it's another creature on the board. Well, felt like I had a pretty good shot there. We dealt with Jetmir. We had the better board state for a millisecond, and then they just drew into Facebreaker, which draws into another great top deck, the Exhibition Magician. Gets them a treasure from Greeters for making the Citizen, gets them a counter on Greeters, gets them 2 life. No. Facebreaker just steals this one out from under us now. No shot. Spend 5 mana to kill this 1/1, or 2 mana to make a 2/2. Just kill the stupid 1/1. Get out of my life. Get off this board. Alright. They draw 2 cards a turn because of Facebreaker. They draw 1 off the top, 1 from the treasure. Facebreaker with Gala Greeters means they're never going to run out of the treasure. They don't even have to hit us to get more. I guess unless they missed really hard here. Because they sort of did. Now they do have to hit us to get more. Trade my decoy into Gala Greeters. Do they have a trick in hand too? Great. Phenomenal. The worst part about that is if those were just ordered the opposite way, then we would have known it was coming. But no, they top decked that as the natural draw, and the other one is the exile. Well, Fleetfoot Dancer's something. It's not something big, though, because now that they have a dagger, we're just trading our 4/4 trample lifelink haste into their 3/2 that doesn't really do anything. Because their 3/2 is equipped with +1/+1. Yep. Seems bad. We're just trying to block. So if they don't top deck a creature, they can't keep drawing cards off Facebreaker. Because we can block all their stuff. We can find double blocks to kill pretty much anything they've got going on. Call in a professional. Now they just straight up have a 5/5, so our 4 power creatures are just not getting in. If I attack with Initiate, I have to tap out to kill whatever they block with. They probably double block with like Social Climber and Facebreaker. Maybe they just trump with Magician. No blocks. And tap out to do 5 to them, I guess. Sure. Pass turn. Another land from our opponent. Oh, we could call in a professional to kill the professional Facebreaker. I just realized that would be pretty good. We still have the problem of them having a 5/5, which can be a 6/6 if they put equipment on it, but still be pretty good. Send in the 4/3 here. That actually is a really good attack, because we have to double block to kill it, or trade off our Sick Nasty Dancer. And we can't let it through because we didn't kill Facebreaker. I should have just shot Facebreaker down and not attacked last turn. Oh, for the love of God. Alright. Dagger on the greeters. We can Mage's Attendant and hold up the mana for calling a Professional. And we're going to kill the Professional Facebreaker here. Gain a life off Overlook. I can counter the life gain by killing Facebreaker right now, which is kind of cute, so I will. You will not gain 1 life this turn. Alright, now we're just kind of trying to go wide around the Gala Greeters. That's our best option. Citizen's Crowbar can blow up the Quick Draw Dagger post-combat here. So if they choose to block our 5/5, but then we need way more mana than we have to do that. Probably playing Crowbar. Planning to blow up the Quick Draw Dagger. And then we can start sending in with Broker's Initiate after that. All they have to do though is play 1 more creature, and Gala Greeters is going to be a 6/6 again, even if we blow up the Crowbar. They have 10 cards left, we have 13. We could try to go for the mill plan. We have Torch Breath that can still kill Gala Greeters. Bouncer's Beatdown helps get there. Still have 2 somewhat outs here. But yeah, Citizen's Crowbar, not going to do it anymore. So we just leave this around as a +1/+1 wherever we need it. Okay. Get that +1/+1 onto our Broker's Initiate here, so that can turn itself into a 6/6. Still have a lot of blockers here to trump Gala Greeters if need be, so we can attack with Initiate, turn it into a 6/6 if they block with Gala Greeters, or if they block with anything else. They don't have any citizens out for Civil Servant right now. They are going to go ahead and chump with Exhibition Magician here. And then we'll pass the turn. Cabaretti Initiate, that can be a 2-power double striker, which is kind of scary. Gala Greeters is a 7/7 now, so Broker's Initiate is not going to get another attack out, I think. Yep, and they're going to make the Cabaretti Initiate potentially disastrously big double striker. Can eat one of our creatures freely. Draw a card here. Our opponent will still mill out before us, even if I draw 1 card here. So I will. There's a Sky Crier as the draw, so we can start hitting in the sky with lifelink. I'm going to move that equipment over next turn, though. Not right now. Having a 1/5 is good against a 2-power double striker. Another Civil Servant. Definitely get some life gain swings out of that, but I can get some life gain swings out of my Sky Crier. Make this Gala Greeters monstrously big here. It's going to be an 8-8 now. Still stack up some blocks on it. Okay, Bouncer's beatdown is beautiful. Not going to kill Gala Greeters by itself anymore, but it's still a really good instant to have. As we start chipping in with our Sky Crier. Nine cards in our deck, 7 in theirs. Vivian. Bouncer's beatdown can deal damage to a Planeswalker, so they get a 4/4 Rhino here, and then we kill Vivian.
If you want to scrap, let's scrap.
It's going to resolve either way, so I'm going to hold up my mana for Broker's Initiate here. So I can go for a big block on Gala Greeters if that's coming in. We'll Bouncer's beat down during our turn if that's necessary. It's coming in. Get a 5/5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it better to actually go lose 2 2/2s instead of a 3/2 and a 1/1? It might be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That still kills Gala Greeters. This way we still have our 3/2s against the Civil Servants. We'll still have a 3/2 against the Civil Servants. I think this might actually be better. If they have a trick here, and it's going to be very bad, but they do not. So we Bouncer's beatdown to kill Vivian here. And then just keep hitting them in the sky with our lifelink. We can start using Skycrier to mill them faster. Eventually. Might be a bit risky to do it right now. So shoot Vivian. That'll be 4 damage because of our shield mate. Skycrier is going to go to their face.
It's getting out of hand.
We're going to gain a little bit of life to stay in this game. And then have each player draw a card during their end step. Get them down to 6 cards in library. Or I guess get them down to 5 cards. They're at 6 right now. There's Rocco searching for a 5-drop creature. Oh god. So they have the tutor for their next biggest bomb in the deck. Giada, Font of Hope. 5 cards left in their library. Giada is good here. Need to live long enough to get them to mill out here. I don't know if we can. Trade a 2/2 into that, trade a 3/2 into that, take 4. Seems like the best bet on these blocks. Down to 21. Okay. Make Giada a 3/3 flyer, so we'll beat ours. They're down to 5 cards in library. Here's Skycrier's ability. They're down to 4 cards in library. We have the mana to do that 2 more times here. If we survive this next combat, we get them They're going to go down to 3 in the draw step. They're going to go down to 1 at the end of their turn. Go down to 0 if we survive one more turn here. So just do everything we can to survive this final turn. Arc Spitter, they can do damage to creatures that are blocking whatever they do. So we can't block with Sky Crier. We need it to still be around. They attack all here. We go for the blocks we need to stop the most damage, which would be these. Give that double strike, hit us for like 5 here. Blow up our wizard. Three cards in library. We'll have each player draw a card. Down to 2 cards in library. We'll have each player draw a card. They're down to 1 card in library. We go to our turn. We'll have each player draw a card, down to no cards in their library. And we'll have each player draw a card. They will die for an empty library. Okay, well, I said if I was going to lose a game, that would be the one that I wanted to lose, to not make it to day 2. We won that game, which means we're 6-2, and I'm going to be a very sad panda if we lose the next game. Either way, 2,500 gems back out of this 5,000 gem event, and we've had some very competitive games of Streets of New Capenna Sealed taking place in this video. So no matter what happens, got some value here from some crazy games of Magic. Without further ado, let's head into the final boss and see if I will get to join the Arena Open Day 2 again. Here we are in the final boss with a pretty unkeepable hand. No green source here is pretty disastrous. I think I have to mulligan for that. This hand is even worse. We don't have a play till turn 4, and we don't have a red source for our turn 3 Exhibition Magician, but I can't afford to mold a 5. It's just a death sentence in limited. Not like this. Arena, please. Obscure Storefront from our opponent. Grabs a blue source. We hit another white land here. No play till turn 4 this time. With this hand, another Obscure Storefront. Great mana fixing in their sealed pool for sure. Pulls out a swamp. An Expendable Lackey is the play. We now have a Mage's Attendant for turn 3. That's certainly something. That's some gas. Gathering Throng. How many did they open in their sealed pool? Wow, they managed to open 3 Gathering Throngs in their sealed pool. That makes that card very efficient. 3 mana for a 3/1 that draws 2 cards to your hand. It's a pretty incredible deal. That is not good for us at all. Luckily, Mage's Attendant makes up for that a little bit by giving us a 3/2 and a 1/1 here. So 2 creatures that can trade into Throngs. Drawn to Riveteer's Decoy. That's really bad against Expendable Lackey, so we'll just play Dapper Shieldmate instead. And pass the turn. Opponent is stuck on 3 mana at least here, it looks like. But they've got plenty of spells to cast at 3 because of the Gathering Throngs that they have acquired. And again, Riveteer's Decoy looking horrible on this board state. We'll just play our Gardener here. And if they want to pop a Lackey into our shield counter, I'm cool with that. Because then we get to actually get some action done by Riveteer's Decoy next turn. Get some work done by that card. And we're holding it in our hand here because Riveteer's Decoy, because of its effect, it's pretty much always going to trade into something. So it's always going to be beneficial to blitz it out when you can, so that you trade into something and draw a card instead of just trading into something. So unless it's turn 2 and your opponent has no blockers, pretty much always trying to blitz the Decoy. And we're probably just killing a fish token with it here, but we really need to hit a red source. So we kind of have to blitz it to draw a card here. So fish for Decoy, Throng for shield mate, anything for Civic Gardener, I guess. We'll untap the Civic Gardener here. It's our most likely to stick around creature out of this combat step. And it is going to stick around, and we'll draw a card off of the Decoy here. Raffine's Informant. There's a Maestro's Theater from opponent. Pulls out another island, and Celebrity Fencer is the play. Card's pretty threatening, but we've got kill shots ready for that. We'll probably have a 3-2 blocker here. I think we have to just play Raffine's Informant, because we're still in desperate need of a red source. Another red card is the exact opposite of what we're looking for. I really want to just any land there so I could Informant into kill shot here. But that's pretty devastating to not even hit a green or white source at the very least. We might even just discard Ginny Fae here. I don't think we can discard one of the kill shots or the Torch Breath. I guess it's Wrecking Crew. Ginny Fae's castable without the red source. Offer a trade with Civic Gardener again. Multiple creatures to dump out after the Celebrity Fencer here to make it absolutely massive. And we still don't see the red source to blow up any of these cards. Pretty sure that's just the death sentence here. The Regulator with a creature with a counter on it means Informant doesn't untap this turn. We only have a 1/1 to block with. If I hold up Kill Shot, I kill the 5/4, I chump the 1/2 and take 4, go to 2 life, and they still have 2 flyers. I think we literally can't win this game. Even if our opponent's hand and library is all lands, and they have nothing left to do, I don't think there's any lines here that win the game. But this treasure token means we can Torch Breath. Good God. I'm just going to say, I think our best play here is the Jewel Thief, because we get to get a blocker down and Torch Breath one of the flyers. So it's our only play that gives us another block, or potentially like a double block on Fencer here, and kills one of their creatures. They're going to connive the Hypnotic Grifter for lethal, and then we'll make it not lethal with Torch Breath, but it won't matter because there's no comeback from this at this point. We don't have a Wrath in our deck. It's going to be just another 6-3 run for me. Down to 2. Any creature that hits me kills me, and I only have 1 castable spell because I still don't have my red source. We're very dead. 6-3 it'll be, and that is going to be my final Arena Open run this time around. Statistically speaking, win percentage speaking, all of that nonsense. These were not bad runs at all. I had 2 6-3 runs. This is the only one I'm going to upload, though, because last one was really... I just stopped... There was literally no commentary in like the last game because I was so out of it at that point. Because it was a 6-0 into a 6-3 last time. It was really brutal. But yeah, I cannot emotionally handle 6-3ing in Streets of New Capenna any more times than this, and financially as well. It is pretty rough because we're down 2,500 gems each time. Even on a 6-3 run, you're down 2,500 gems because it costs 5,000 to play, and you only get the 2,500 back. So unfortunately, that is going to end my Arena Open run this time around. That is going to end the competitive Streets of New Capenna limited season for me. Actually, not entirely. I am qualified for the qualifier weekend event. That will be at the end of the month on May 28th. That is going to be another sealed Streets of New Capenna event. Unfortunately, I wish it were draft, but if we day 2 that one, then we'll get to play traditional draft just as if we had day 2'd this one. So I'm still in for another competitive Streets of New Capenna limited event at the end of the month, but we're not going to get there to day 2 this time around. Just get 2,500 gems a couple times. So we'll claim our prize, we'll take our licking, take our beating, and move on to greener pastures, hopefully in the qualifier weekend event at the end of the month. So apologies I couldn't make it to day 2 this time around. I know it is a bit of a bummer because the day 2 video was super hype, and it's always super hype to see day 2 of a very competitive event like this, because that's when you know that there's super huge stuff on the line. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Still had a pretty good run with our sealed pool. A nice 6-3 run. My previous sealed pool again was like just a broker's nonsense pile. Very inconsistent mana in both of my sealed pools. Not a whole lot of super solid like filler uncommons and stuff. Not a super great curve last time around. But 6-3 against very fierce competition like you have in the Arena Open twice in a row is not bad at all. But I'm going to save all the rest of these gems that I purchased. I can't justify spending more on this event and potentially leaving with nothing here. So that is going to end today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we've got tons of great stuff on the horizon. There will be more competitive Streets of New Capenna Limited on May 28th, and until then, just going to be going back and forth with whatever quick draft formats, premier draft formats, stuff like that they've got on Arena. So as always, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.